What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Squishs Picks. I missed you. I missed all my big time subscribers, my many followers.
We're up to 20.
I can't wait for the NFL season to get going. I decided to wait till Sunday morning to do my picks because I just like to go more on my gut. And being week one, you got to you're kind of grasping at not a whole lot of knowledge. I mean, of course, I follow the draft very meticulously, and follow all the offseason moves. But until you kind of see them on the field with all the starters, you can't take much in the preseason. But with that, I'll pick my picks. I'll do 6 picks again, and then I'll give you like a little preview what I think is going to happen here for this season. I don't think I did that last year. So without further ado, and by the way, it's time. It is time to get the Raiders going. Not looking like everybody's kind of counting us out early on here, but let's see how the season pans out. So the first game that grabbed my attention, it's a lot of points, but I just think the Ravens are going to be way too strong for the Houston Texans. All the weapons that Lamar has now. Lamar's contract's done. Finally, no squawking about it. He got the money, got the bag, but they've got Dobbins. Everyone seems healthy too. They didn't. I mean, went into the last couple seasons with a lot of injuries. In saying that, I know Mark Andrews is questionable there today, but they've got some good receivers, and everyone's talking about Zay Flowers, this rookie. Um, and they seem to have a pretty good. I think they might have the best linebacking like duo in the league, and Patrick Queen and Anquan Smith. So I'm going to take the 9.5 points with the Ravens at home. C.J. Stroud's debut. I hate Ohio State. So I don't want to say I don't like to see a rookie crash and burn, but I don't want to see him do that well. And they don't have a lot of weapons. I know their defense is going to be pretty good. I've been hearing a lot about the defense. Will Anderson Jr. He was taken there in the top. What was it? Top 6 or 7. And, when Houston moved up in the draft, there too, maybe 3. I can't remember. But yeah, give me the Ravens 9.5. Next game, the Jags -4.5 points on the road versus the Colts. But I just think that the Jaguars have probably the easiest schedule in the league this year. I remember hearing they're playing the NFC South. They have their own division, which is pretty bad. So there's 4 games. There's 6 more. There's 10 games right there versus bad teams. Um, I mean, I think their over under was 9.5 on wins. Excuse me. If you are into over unders on the season, you got to look at the Jags. But yeah, I'm going to take 4.5 points on the road. I like that they picked up Calvin Ridley. They got that offensive tackle to help out Trevor Lawrence there. And they're going in to play the Colts, who just seem to have been an offseason mess. Not a lot of teams you can kind of write off in the AFC. I mean, it's just a crazy stacked conference. Crazy, actually. It's going to be a bloodbath that comes out of there. But there's a couple teams you can write off right away, and the Colts are on that list, sadly. I actually think Richardson could be pretty good. He's huge, has a rocket of an arm, but tell me the last great guy to come out of Florida, and don't tell me Tebow. So anyway, and he was one of those guys with his draft stock kind of just rocketed up as soon as they saw how big he was and had a big arm. Not every one of those guys has been that successful. So let's take our time there. Jonathan Taylor not playing. I don't know what they've done on defense, but yeah. So give me the Jags 4.5 point favorites on the road. My next one, and this is going to be a team I just think is going to be pretty like sort of under the radar good this year. The Seahawks -5 points at home versus the Rams. First of all, playing in Seattle with the 12th man, that crowd's going to be ready to go there today, rocking. They always are. It's one of the hardest places to play. Um, I like Stafford coming back, but Cooper Cup's out. You always got to worry about Aaron Donald, but I don't know how much help he's got this year. I really haven't followed the Rams roster that much. I just know that from sort of the gut feel that I have is that it might be about kind of a down year for the Rams. I know they're over under like win total was something around 7 games too, so maybe it was 8, but even being in a bad division with Arizona, and I guess it's not that bad. Let me take that back with San Fran and Seattle. I think that's going to maybe even worse for them, really. I mean, you think I can't see them beating Seattle and San Fran. So playing out for the bottom of the of the division there with Arizona. I mean, Arizona's probably going to be last, but anyway, give me the Seahawks -5. And Geno Smith, he's got just nothing but weapons. They might have the best wide receiving core in the league. Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Tyler Lockett. Sign me up. And he was a top 10 MVP vote getter last year. And he was kind of, I don't want to say front runner at any point, but he was being talked about, especially early and middle of the year there. Give me the Seahawks -5. Next one, I'm going. This is just fading the Packers, but the Bears are only 1 point favorites versus the Packers at home. I know, like recently, the Packers have been getting some love. I don't really understand it. I know they're going to have a good defense. I've heard this. They're going to have a good defense, but we don't know what Jordan Love is. We have no idea. And I think Christian Watson's out today. I kind of love the Bears. I mean, I'm going a little Bears colors here. Give me the Bears -1. I don't even need to go on about it, but I know that Justin Fields started tearing it up at the end of last season. He was like the best QB rating in the last 6 weeks or something like that, and started just and once he started running, he was putting up some. I think he put up record for rushing yards. It's one of times like this when I go, I think he did this, I think he did this, and I don't think to do the homework on that before I do this, even though I try to do some homework before I do the Squishers picks. But I'll try to be better. I will. I don't think about it until I start spitting it out like that. So anyway, give me the Bears -1. The next one. So the next, well, one's going to be a beauty. I know the last one, but the second last one, I kind of got to go hunting for it. But and I got a lot of afternoon games picked here, but I'm going to take the Chargers at home -3. Miami coming out to play. I know it's the first game of the year, so travel isn't the biggest thing. So coming out to the West Coast isn't the biggest problem. I like the Dolphins roster. I don't know if they're going to be able to protect Tua. I don't know what they've really done to address the offensive line. I know they got weapons. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, that's a given. And I don't even dislike Tua per se, even though seeing a lefty just throws me right off. But can they protect him? And their defense is decent too. I don't love this pick. It's kind of you getting that field goal at home. The Chargers should be great. They should be good. Let me take that back. I don't want to hype them up because they're in a division. But Justin Herbert, another year with that offensive coordinator. I just think that all this hype around Justin Herbert, and there should be. He got paid too. Let's see how good he can be to kind of lift that team. It's games like this you're really going to see what's going on with them, especially with the Chargers. They're just kind of choke artists, kind of always have been. Remember when they played us in that last game of the season? Everybody wrote us off, and then we beat. And then I mean, they were supposed to win that game and go into the playoffs, make some noise, and all this. That was 2 years ago. Last year, they coughed up a 27-point lead versus the Jags. Everybody remember that? It's almost like I'm talking myself out of the pick now. But give me the Chargers -3. It was either that or I didn't mind Commanders. I -7. I just didn't like the big spread versus Arizona. Eagles. I mean, you'd think the Eagles are going to beat the Patriots, but the Patriots are at home. I don't know. You can't ever. I hate betting against Belichick. But anyway, for my last pick, I'm going homer pick. I'm taking the Raiders at Denver +3. Give me a fucking break. Russell Wilson is going to be benched again this season. He's done. Russ is cooked. Sean Payton, I'm sure, is going to be a 10 times better coach than Nathaniel Hackett. Don't get me wrong. But don't get me started on the Denver Broncos being good again this year. They're not going to be good again. I am going to tell you that they're going to be last in their division again. They'll be fighting it out with the chefs down at the bottom of the division. and it'll be the Raiders and the Chiefs. And that's another thing. And the Chargers, they're writing us off so badly. Jimmy G is a successful quarterback. Don't forget he played under Josh McDaniels. And if it weren't for Tommy Braids, who I'm not going to talk shit about because he's my boy, Tom Brady wanted Garoppolo out because he could kind of feel the heat coming from, this backup quarterback that was going to try to take his job. So he kind of ordered him out. And then he went to San Fran and he had some injury issues, but he let him do a Super Bowl. He's super accurate. His QB rating is always great. He's a winning quarterback. We have Devontae. We addressed our defense, and what is going on with Chandler Jones? I don't know what the fuck is going on with Chandler Jones, but I don't know if we've done enough to address our defense. I know we got that safety from Baltimore, or excuse me, from the Eagles, and I think we got a corner from Baltimore. It's kind of time. It's time for Josh McDaniels and that it's a Dave Ziegler. I should know that the GM to kind of put up or shut up. And I know that the writing is on the wall that the Raiders aren't even going to be in contention for a playoff spot. But I kind of think they're going to be a sneaky pick to make the playoffs. Are they going to make noise in the playoffs? I don't know. I want to say yeah, of course. But so with that, give me the Raiders +3 at Denver. So there's my picks: Ravens -9.5, Jags -4.5, Seahawks -5, Bears -1, Chargers -3, Raiders +3. And it's my little preview of the season. I think in the NFC, coming out of the NFC Championship, is going to be the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. And then in the AFC, I've got Ravens versus Bills. And I got the Bills beating the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. That would be a lot of fun to see both that matchup and to see the Bills win the Super Bowl. That would be pretty incredible. So that's my Squishs picks and a little season prediction for week 1 of the NFL. Let's go. I cannot wait till 1 o'clock. Let's fucking go. Cheers, guys. See you next week.